Now, when is a fighter also a teacher? Well, around Jos, school children in Plateau State capital have less to fear from clashes in the communities now that our soldiers are there to keep the peace and help out in the classroom as well. It's quite a story. Take a look.
Soldiers in classrooms are not a common sight.
See, corruption can be seen at our level in this state now. But we try as much as possible to do away with it.
But they might be now in Jos, the Plateau State capital, north-central Nigeria, where they've come to rebuild communities devastated by communal clashes.
We realize that most of the schools do not have enough teachers, coupled with the fact that ever since the teachers left during the peak of the crisis, most of them never cared to come back. So we have resorted to assisting the schools. We have over 240 guard locations spread throughout the whole 17 local government areas of Plateau, as well as Bogoro and Tafa Balewa local government areas of Bauchi State.
These soldiers are saying their hands are not only good with guns, they are also with chalks.
If we can capture the youths and keep them busy, that is the best way to maintain peace in this axis. And we'll come up with an idea, Operation Keep the Youth Busy, which the Commander Operation Safe Haven graciously approved. Initially, sometime this year by March, you are here for a tournament, keeping the youth busy, and this is one of it. Lecturing them in their schools, telling them there is need for cohabitants, for them to live together, and giving them what we have. You can see all the officers and men teaching them in their classes. It's a way of bringing peace down and making them to see reasons to live together. As you see in the class there, Fulanis are there, Biroms are there, Chalas are in the class. So they see themselves as brothers and sisters.
Now they teach English language, mathematics, social studies and more.
When you see this kind of a question, which says, the sum of 4 consecutive numbers is 58, find the number. All you need to do, I told you that whenever you are solving any problem, on what problem, all you need to do is to ensure that you understand the question very well.
The students have not seen this before and are very happy and grateful.
Military people have been of good help to us and a great achievement through the school. They have been part of the school since they have already come over for this peacekeeping, so they usually used to come and help us and assist us with some lectures that we required on subjects that we might not be able to afford the teachers to offer them. Some of them usually come and offer it to us. So we are very privileged of them and we are very happy of them. So all we have to say is thank you to them.
Some volunteer teachers also feel some relief having had it tough before the arrival of the soldiers.
Employed staff are only 2 in the school. That is the principal and 1 English teacher. And he is schooling now. But all of us that you can see here, we are voluntary staff. In 2012, I was the only staff in this school. 2012. Because of the crisis. But now, we thank God because of the peace that comes to our area now. We are overwhelmed with what the military personnel are doing in our area. I am telling you, if they can continue with that, it is Almighty God that will help them. And we thank God because they give us a helping hand in this school.
With this gesture, the soldiers are proving that they don't only protect our territorial integrity, but are also instrumental in redefining civil-military relations.
You're watching Africa 54. I'm Esther Githo-Ewart in Washington. Bamboo has a wide range of uses, including construction, but its use on a large scale has been hampered by a lack of standards required by building engineers, something a University of Pittsburgh professor is trying to change. VOA's George Putic reports.
Helped by one of his students, Professor Kent Harris is testing a bamboo pole for its radial load, how much of a pressure or weight it can withstand. Building codes everywhere require strict standardization of tests for all materials, such as timber or concrete. But tests for bamboo have not been standardized, even though the strength of at least 3 species is comparable to steel.
It's a remarkably strong material, remarkably resilient. It's optimized to be a very tall, obviously bamboo material. Something like this might grow 20 meters. And it supports its own weight, and of course it also supports huge wind loads and whatnot over that.
Bamboo is widely used as food for pandas, for furniture or engineered products such as plywood, glue-laminated and cross-laminated timber, but not much outside its native growing area, mostly because of its round cross-section. But there are other reasons too.
It is viewed in much of the world as well, bamboo's for poor people. And so there's that mentality that we're trying to get over.
Bamboo suitable for construction requires significantly less resources than comparable timber. It's highly sustainable with a harvest cycle of about 3 years, while softwood requires about 10 and hardwood more than 30 years.
If we standardize it, if we provide essentially documentations, test methods, which the engineers can hang their hat on, we bring the material into the mainstream.
Harris says the standardized bamboo poles could be used in multiple stalk columns vertically and for floors and roofs horizontally. In many countries, they are already used for wall panel structures. George Putich, VOA News, Washington.
Well, in Kenya, another kind of materials innovation is taking place. It's called the Maker Movement at the University of Nairobi, designing effective, low-cost medical equipment. Lenny Ruvaga has more.
It took Joel Kabete and his classmates 2 years to design this suction machine. The device is used to clear an infant's airways after birth or during an operation. Kenya has to import much of its medical equipment. Conventional suction machines go for around $2,000, but this one cost just $500 to make with a 3D printer.
We use the local materials, we use the designs ourselves, we design the things ourselves, and also this should come up as a wake-up call. We can use the materials that we have now and come up with substances that can help not only the children, but the society as a whole.
Student Raphael Osoro is the brain behind this phototherapy machine. It took him 6 months to develop. The blue spectrum light emitted by the machine reduces the high bilirubin levels that cause jaundice in newborns. Osoro notes that his machine is a third of the cost of other similar machines on the market, and it is adapted for local needs.
When it comes to the hospitals, 1 unit should be used for 1 baby. But when you go to, for instance, Kenyatta National Hospital, they are putting 3 babies on 1 unit. And the lighting is not effective. So we had to incorporate the size of around 4 babies and then come up with this size.
The Science and Technology Park of the University of Nairobi partnered with Concern Worldwide and Kenyatta National Hospital to develop the prototypes. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is funding the project. But you may be noticing something about the people in this story. There are no women.
We have a problem in that we've got a lot of innovations that go on, but we don't get enough women in science, we don't get enough women in technology, and also women in engineering coming through. And a lot of the problems that we have in society are because of gender imbalances.
The suction machine is already before the Kenya Bureau of Standards, which will decide if it can be approved for use. But there may be more challenges ahead.
We don't have the ready-made policy to support the research and innovation of medical devices. We are having challenges with ensuring that the highly skilled manpower are focused on innovating around medical devices.
The student engineers are optimistic, and they are already working on more designs. Lenny Ruvaga for VOA News, Nairobi.
Well, it's time for us to take another break. Before we go, a reminder to visit our website, channelstv.com, for all the latest information day or night. You can also find us at youtube.com/channelsweb. Still to come on Africa 54. We all need to find new and sustainable sources of energy, and one man is finding power in the lowly potato. That story after the break.